Hello, hello. We are here with the grand finals of the Kings of the North ProBots Season 2. We're going to have an amazing best of 7 coming up between our two finalist bots, SarsaBot and DimitroBot. But joining me today here is my lovely co-casters. Both of them are just adorable people. We have ESChamp himself, Mr. Drekken. How's it going?
Yo, everybody out there in the ProBot world. I'm doing great.
And on the other side, we have a guy. I summoned this guy by saying his name into a mirror 3 times. Andy Man. He killed my entire family, but he is here to help us cast tonight. How you doing, Andy?
I'm good. First time that's ever happened. It was really weird. Kind of caused me to freak out a little bit. Sorry about your family.
Yeah.
But, we've got some good StarCraft games,
They
so
had a
hopefully
good
we
run.
don't forget about that.
Exactly. Should be pretty good.
Gotta hate when you summon the Andy Man. Jeez.
I know, right? It's just
Don't do
like I feel like I was warned in all like 1990s movies, but I didn't anyway. And it's going to work.
Never learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we start, I have to ask you guys, what is your favorite Halloween movie?
Oh, jeez. I've never been asked Halloween movie. I've been asked like Christmas movie and all that. Favorite Halloween movie?
Yeah.
Would have to be. I'm not big into like the horror slasher ones.
Yeah.
They're okay, but they just don't. Yeah, they're campy.
You can choose like cartoons too, like Peanuts. Halloween.
Well, there's an old. It's like some old Disney one with there's like 3 witches or something.
I think it's called The Witches, isn't it? I don't know if that's Disney.
God, what is it called? I can't. Halloween movies, not a genre I'm super well versed in, but Halloween is coming up. I'm excited for candy.
Candy's definitely good.
Candy's legit. I like the day. I like the day after Halloween when all the candy is super crazy
cheaper. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the way to go. It's better to do that after Halloween too. The worst day to like try and prey on cheap candy is like the day after Valentine's Day, because then you have to buy like hearts and shit, and it looks weird.
Especially the chalky one. Ugh.
Yeah, no, they're always the worst. But yeah, Halloween's good, and they're all like the fun size packs and everything. It's perfect. It's a perfect day. But we're going to, I believe, before we get into the actual best of 7, we are going to be doing essentially 2 show matches, which should be interesting.
Before we do that, though, why don't we show the audience like how we got here? For like someone who just came and followed us. Let's see the brackets and let's see how we got here.
Where am I? How'd I get here?
Some people just woke up and they're like, "What is this strange thing?"
It happens.
Do we have brackets?
They are up. So first we had a group stage with a number of bots, but show you the round of 8 and onward. One of our finalists here, SarsaBot, beat up on Spacemen 5428 in a lovely ZVZ. And then subsequently beat up on Micro Machine, although those were pretty interesting matches. If you want to go back and see those on Wednesday, we did it. Micro Machine had a few bugs in the code a little bit, and SarsaBot was able to kind of launch an attack every now and then that seemed to trigger one of those bugs. Other than that, they were pretty close, at least towards the start of the game.
Is it possible that it exploited it? Like, could you feel like SarsaBot?
I doubt that it knew.
It's a little bit like building and positioning. I don't want to say luck, but it was a little bit, for lack of a better term, where because it was that tech lab on the Starport. Exactly. Once he lost that, and that was like the first thing that you saw coming up the ramp was the tech lab. So it's the first thing that's going to get attacked. So a little bit unfortunate building placement. I think.
Definitely the case there. But if you haven't seen those matches, check that out because they are pretty cool. On the other side of the bot, I think on the other side of the bracket, I think our bracket went away. But DimitroBot has
bring it back,
iterated a little bit over time. So he went from a purely worker rushing bot, which worked fairly well all throughout the group stage and in the round of 8. In the semifinal round, he became a mass zealot bot that just made four gateways and just charged zealots across the map. And now we've allowed both players to make tweaks to their programming before going to these finals. So we're not sure what we're going to get. As again, DimitroBot's programming essentially entirely changed between the two rounds. So it's going to be interesting. I still expect cheese, though, obviously.
I hope for cheese.
Yeah. Do you think he removed the worker rush option completely, or do you think he left that maybe there's a chance? Because I know he reduced the chance of it happening, but...
Yeah, he did say it that way, that he reduced the chance.
I think he would have kept. I think he would have removed it, because I feel like at this point he knows in the finals that his opponent is prepared for something like that. Like Sarzabot's not like one of those bots that is fully scripted. I feel like Sarzabot, if he got worker rush, would know after that. But all right, well, that's not happening yet.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it would be interesting to actually see it adapt from game to game if it was to happen twice. We talked about this at length on Wednesday, but Sarzabot is one of the only bots that is significantly controlled by machine learning. It's named Sarzabot because Sarsa is a machine learning algorithm type process. It stands for state action, reward state action. And so it actually does iterate after playing 1,000 games against whatever. It's probably more than that now. But it will actually learn behavior and adapt to things. So if it got worker rushed, it would be interesting to see how it did adapt to it in the next game or whatever, even if it learned what was going on while it was happening. But
that'd be super exciting. Would
be cool.
Yeah, I was checking out the ladder, and I had no idea that these bots have played upwards of like 1,000 games. Two of them. It's really cool. Is there a way to like get the replays for these, or do you just have to ask the?
I believe they released the replays, so anybody can kind of download them and like learn from them. But...
Yeah, I believe so. For anyone that doesn't know, that is at sc2ai.net, and it's got kind of a standing set and a ladder with ratings and everything there, and there's some pretty cool ones out there.
What time we're gonna get the introduction? Like at what time it'll just pop up?
Just be ready for it. Just go.
We gotta be ready.
Just be ready. You just gotta.
All right. So we are jumping into, as you see here, what we're doing is, which we didn't explain, is we're going to do a show match of each of these first playing itself.
Oh yes, you're right. We didn't explain.
Yeah, we didn't explain it. We just noted it. We cut off the explanation. But basically we just thought it would be neat to see them both play themselves to see what would happen. For Sarzabot, I think this is going to then be a large macro game. But for DimitroBot in particular, I think it could be a very interesting tug of war.
Oh, I mean between the two DimitroBots?
Yeah.
Robots?
Well, I think between this one as well should be a pretty interesting tug of war, because like you just said, it will go into a macro phase. That means they're both going to have the economies to keep kind of throwing things at each other. Exactly. So I think we might get a very interesting back and forth here dynamic as well.
I'm hoping to see that like the whole thing with machine learning is sometimes they'll do things that you don't expect, and I'm hoping this will make a ZVZ interesting. And that's what I'm not expecting. So
could be.
Well, a bot of equal intelligence going up against another bot of equal intelligence. Should be a close match in theory.
I mean, like, as long as it's not roaches, then I'm happy. Like,
I mean, it might be, but who knows? We have seen at least in the early game like this, and maybe you wouldn't expect it from a bot, but there is deviation already. So Blue Sarzabot has put down a hatchery later. But yeah, exactly.
There is deviation. You're right.
And the third base out of, all right. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, so we will get something different. Already Sarzabot going more economic.
Well, while we do this, why don't I take the opportunity to let everybody know that one of the cool things that one day these bots may go back in time. We do not know, but if they do, they'll find out that you didn't contribute to the match arena. We're just almost halfway, actually more than halfway, to our match arena goal. You can use the code ProBots to contribute a free $1 to add to that prize pool. And if you are feeling generous, you can throw more than $1 and bump that up for next season. So yeah, Don't let those bots come looking for you.
$1 a day keeps the homicidal robots away.
That would be
Something like
the
that.
slogan for
Catchphrase for next
Yeah.
year. Oh my goodness.
It is a good question. Why is it building spores at this point? The red
Yeah, I was going to ask that earlier, but then I actually
maybe it's
forgot. Thank you for
preempting.
reminding
Maybe
me.
it knows. It's like
What
calculate the
does it know?
probability. Well, maybe it calculates the probability that its clone will go air, and it's preparing.
Maybe,
30% chance.
Certainly
I wonder
possible.
if it was there something it saw that did that, or is it just part of its defensive? Oh, I should do this one in each base just in case, or something.
Wait, do both of them have spores, or do they
No,
only
just
just
the
our
red
spot
team.
one, just red team.
Oh, maybe
So
maybe
I
the
don't know.
Overlord freaked it out.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, Overlord might have been. Well, and I was going to say DT defense too. So did it not realize that it's up against a Zerg then? Does it? Oh, because it is
It's possible that
prepared
it thinks
for. Okay. So yeah, if it's prepared, I was going to say that, but I was like, no, there won't be DTs here. That'd be silly. But
No,
as
yes, it has played like a whole bunch of against Dimitri Robot's clones. So it's probably preempting the DT. Like the probability of DTs coming at me, high. Oh my god, he's huge.
Probability of Zerglings even higher.
Rip. Getting a lot of damage done here already. May end up taking 3 queens out, although some of the lings going after drones, which is not a horrible decision either.
You know what I like though? That's different than most times.
See that
we don't see it a lot. And I feel like I can't remember the last time I've seen that on ProBots at all, where the
targeted something as a priority.
Yes. Yeah. Like they never do that. They always just go after like queens or a spine, and I'm like, go for the drone.
They literally go after the first thing they see. Generally.
Yeah.
Like almost all the bots are doing this. Another spore coming down. He wants those spores.
Oh my god, those spores. But it's interesting that one Sarzabot built spores and the other one didn't.
And even more like the ones on 3 base and the other, well, now you get a third, but the other ones on 2 up until just now. Like these are very different strategies from the same bot.
Mm-hmm. You know what I like about doing this show match? Because we can see 2 different iterations of this Sarzabot and what, like, in 2 instances, what it might be thinking.
Yeah, Blue Sarsa is trying to catch up and get a 4th hatchery there as well. So switching back into macro mode because of the workers killed does have a drone advantage fairly significantly as well. Yeah. A lot of worker kills from these Ling run-bys.
Well, and I think we should kind of look at it too. Which one would be better against his actual opponent? Which one would be better against a Protoss in this scenario? Would the heavy Lings help take that early game? Would the spores protect against a potential cheese? There's a lot of different things.
A good question there. Sarsabot red. I'm just gonna call them red and blue, but red Sarsa was a little undefended there. There was a couple queens out, but they were very spread around. They didn't have much in terms of lings. There were like maybe 20 lings on the map or something. So I think that makes a big difference. Whereas the blue Sarsabot had a lot more army faster. But then the spores, if that's what it is, then of course that's good, but you're kind of taking the shot in the dark.
This is it. But here red is about to pump out like 7 roaches, 6 roaches. Yeah. And even though he's under this onslaught, I feel like once he defends it and gets back his macro, he'll be in a better position.
He could be. He is now, however, down a hatchery as well. So he's down the 14 workers, but also the hatch.
I have to say, I really love these Ling movements. Like this is what I've been waiting for. Like this kind of like moving around. Like he goes in there and he starts picking at the hatchery, sees the queens, and goes straight to the mains drones.
Well, and look how many drones he's gotten. He's now down, or I'm sorry, Sarsabot 1 is now down by more than 10 drones because of those little run-bys. He's got his own 4th base up as well for Blue. So the economy's looking phenomenal for Sarsabot 2 here.
And Blue did end up putting his own spores down, but at a more appropriate time.
Getting upgrades sooner, I believe, as well. So Sarsabot 2, I feel like the macro has just been a little bit better, but has that simply been because Sarsabot 1 hasn't done really any pressure? Yeah, I don't think I've seen one move out out of Sarsabot 1.
Yeah, exactly. He moved out with like 5 roaches, but they didn't really make it across. There's something coming into the 4th base of blue. I think that may be a few roaches. Mm-hmm. But lings are still ravaging this natural trend.
The amount of links spread all over the place is it's frightening. Like it's just.
Yeah, and see, they are the roach prioritizing down the spore for whatever reason, and will eventually die to the queens there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird movement after what we had just recently seen.
Well, what's the unit count though? Sarsabot is 1. I'm sorry, they're both Sarsabot. Red Sarsabot. The army supply was evening up there for just a moment. Did finally go back into Sarsabot 2's favor. But it looks like Sarsabot 1 was about to push out with some roaches again, or try to, but I can't really, I guess.
You know what I like about this though? It's like it's not. I was expecting it to be one-sided. Like I thought one Sarsabot would have just dominated the other one instantaneously, but oddly enough, the other one has pushed back. And like I don't know if maybe that's a lack of a killing blow or really it's just it couldn't kill it. Like sorry. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's maybe like the one thing that people have commented a few times during this, which is what is an advantage position for a human where a human would no longer lose from that position is not necessarily true to the bot.
True.
Because it can be really, really good up until X number of minutes, and then its transition out of there isn't as good. And then the other one takes over. And the way that the roaches are kind of defending, counterattacking a little bit is enough. And the lings that keep coming in while they continue to harass workers and queens and stuff, they're not like massing and focus firing something down. They're still in harassment mode. So they're not actually killing bases. They're not actually devastating everything.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious to know about how it made this unit composition decision. Like, how did this unit composition decide? Because now we have one of them getting hydras, another one's still getting lings and roaches. So I'm curious to know how they came to the unit composition.
And the spire. I want to see the spire.
So this is what they told you. The spore is preemptive.
Yeah, exactly. It knew that 8 minutes from now I'm going to need these, so might as well build them now. Can we hear?
Oh, my bad. I thought I muted that for some reason.
You play Game of Thrones. Oh, that's some deep little banter there.
There's some deep stuff.
So it actually was kind of fitting. It actually fit together nicely, I think.
Yeah, they are very Lannister. I do love that he's just embraced the Sansa part of this.
It does look like Red Sarsabot on its final breaths here. Sarsabot 2, with just the superior macro, didn't get harassed enough, was able to just keep pressuring and doing whatever it wanted, and now will finally overwhelm. So my money's on blue Sarsabot to be better against Protoss.
I think that's definitely true. I think it was more aggressive. It's making a better unit composition. There's just a lot more going on there. Even at this point, going up to a hive, and upgrading, I think is going to be a big deal too. If you end up facing the same units over and over, like if it's just a flood, then having the upgrades is eventually going to win you that.
Yep.
Because we saw some basically stalemate type play with zealots before, where it just kind of stayed static the whole time. And so Sarsabot 1, what a loser. Sarsabot 2 taking this first of our play themselves matches. Don't you wish you could do this with like real players?
Think about it. This is kind of like natural selection for robots.
And that's
the
literally
strongest
how
one lives to keep producing different.
I hope he would eat the one that lost and like consumed him. And
that is literally how they think of it when they program a lot of things, that they'll get iterations to play each other, and they call them generations. And then the new generation kills the old one. Like they'll get different things to play. That's what, when you look into, I think people have heard of Alpha Zero, the chess playing thing by Google team.
Yeah.
But it's now iterated and it's named like Leela or something, but it's different steps, and they'll play each other different versions. They each mutate a little bit. And then when they mutate, this one will then play that one. And if it wins, it lives and it kills the other one. And it
I
goes
hope it's like Highlander style.
So
I hope it's just like, you know.
there can only be one.
Yeah, it's like slices and like, ah! And like lightning strikes it and then it just absorbs the other one. Or like the movie, The One. Have you ever seen that one with Jet Li? And he has to kill different iterations of himself in different multiverses.
That is great.
That's exactly how this must be.
It is exactly that. It is exactly that.
I am Yulong, the only one.
All right, so that was our Zerg player, our Zerg bot. Now we've got a Protoss bot loading up, I believe.
Yeah.
Should be here very soon.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get a little preview into what's changed, how much has changed. We said in the pre-show here that, the Protoss bot in the group stage of round of 8 was just worker rushing, basically. It could do other builds, but was mostly worker rushing. This time, the worker rushing has been turned way down, and we saw in the semifinals that it was only zealot rushing.
What if it just worker rushes itself? Like
both
bots?
That'll be interesting.
It's just like, whatever.
The minimum line's not moving yet, but we may get a totally different behavior. But this may be some bit of a preview on what it's going to do. But the question is it going to do the same thing to itself? We just saw a non-mirror with Sarsabot, but how are our Ukrainians going to do against each other?
In the top right, blue Dimitrobot.
And his opponent, who is also him, down on the bottom left-hand corner, it's also Dimitrobot.
Red Dimitrobot.
Red Dimitrobot.
It could probably be a little bit louder, the music and the game sounds.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. But they are there.
So we are getting pretty mirrored build so far. So it looks like we're going to potentially get an exact mirror. If it does the same thing it was doing in the semifinals, then we're going to end up at 4 gateways. Virtually identical timing on these, maybe half a second different. This is kind of what I wanted to see.
I always wonder, and I'm curious to know if, at the end of the day, if like the Metrobot is ever at a disadvantage because it's left. It's like, because it came this far on cheese, and when it leaves cheese, how healthy is it?
Yeah,
at winning when it's no longer cheesy. Yeah.
Is cheese a healthy diet to only eat cheese?
Exactly.
As long as it's not the processed sliced cheese, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But only cheese?
Only cheese.
I don't think you could survive on only cheese. What if you're lactose intolerant?
Then you would just be killed, yes. I think that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah. I think if you were lactose intolerant and only ate cheese, then yeah, you would die.
Yeah, you'd probably just die.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd imagine over time.
Oh, they had a mirror supply block. I didn't catch that.
Programmed to be supply block.
They also did a mirror. They did a mirror chrono boosting a gateway that wasn't building anything as well.
Yeah, this is the 4 gate versus 4 gate that we did see last week against its opponent.
Still no gas.
Yeah, and there never was.
We will never see one.
Yeah, we'll never see gas. But there is minor variation here on what they're building, like literally very minor. But it almost comes down to the exact timing and location of the gateways, which one was built first, and then when the next pylon came and so on. So they're a tiny bit out of sync. The thing that'll be interesting on this, because of this type of map, is they may pass each other when they go to attack. And
like
if it was a different map, they would literally meet in the middle. But because there's rocks in the middle of this map, they probably won't meet in the middle.
Oh.
Well, you almost have to think too, because it's waiting until it gets X amount of units. If they both throw the same amount of units at each other over and over and over again, there'll be 1, 2, maybe 3 survivors. But those survivors will either retreat, which would be the good scenario. But if they go forward and attack and die, then you're just going to have constant clash.
Yeah.
Almost just button heads against each other. So we're getting the scenario though that you predicted where they pass each other going completely different directions, which actually it's reasonable.
Floating in the night.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because if you were to probe scout, this is the routes that the probes would take. Just the
What's really interesting, I kind of want an explanation for why does the red one have one more probe?
Like a.
Oh, good cat. I didn't even
Kind of weird.
It just looked.
Because other than that, this is identical. But it has one more probe.
I wonder why. If you're never gonna get gas, why get more than the amount of minerals that it can hold? Because
well, exactly. Why is it not 16? Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe one or two more because it's going to build.
I think this is going to come down to who can kill the buildings the fastest now.
It is.
Interesting base race.
Yeah.
In the works here.
I think it'll literally be formation shape of the buildings. Who can potentially unpower them first, although there's like 8 pylons for both of these.
Yeah, why there's so many pylons. It's expecting just to continually.
Yeah, supply block though. So blue is now supply block. No more will come out. We may still get another one at least out on home on the red side.
Yeah, kind of these chokes for blue Dimitrobot are much better over in his base. He's, trading just a teeny bit more efficiently, slowing down those zealots a little bit more. Back in red side, there's full zealot coverage on all the buildings now, and I think blue Dimitrobot should be able to clean up the buildings first here, just based on that. There's a lot of different red zealots over here.
One minor difference too. Of course, the probes were all killed immediately on the red side, but not on the blue side. And yeah, it does look like that's going to be the case as they're very close to finished here. GG, the red one does tap out as the Nexus dies, and our blue guy wins.
Interesting.
I always appreciate a good GG when the bots know when
they know what's up, and the well played too. It knew that clearly your 4 gateway strategy was better than mine.
It was building placement.
Well done.
More efficient.
Well done.
The efficiency is.
So we found out too that extra worker did not do anything.
No, nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
He did end up with 5 more minerals at the very end of that game.
That's true.
But that's no help. But I kind of want to see now them play again on a map where they would hit in the middle. Mm-hmm. Like put them on Dreamcatcher or something, and they would hit right in the same spot. That would be interesting.
The clash.
Yeah, because then it would literally be like one of those tug of war games. It would be like Nexus Wars or Desert Strike or something.
What's that?
Direct Strike.
All right. So close to that time though.
That whets the appetite at least, and we're now going to be going into the actual grand finals. That does give us a hint that Dimitrobot is potentially going to do the same thing. So we know he may have a couple options in there, but all we've seen this iteration do is the Zealot Rush. How's that going to pan out?
I don't know how I feel about I feel that might not be enough, but then again, I think that's what it's good at. So I'm kind of like in a crossroads.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The biggest thing is, does Sarsabot learn at all? Is it going to do builds that can counter this? Does it know? I mean, just because you learned last time too doesn't necessarily mean you're prepared for it again.
Well, he obviously put spores down, so he knew.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He knew. I don't think that the mutas ever did come out in that.
Nope. All right.
Things we love destroys every time, lad. Remember that.
Exactly. We are jumping in here to our grand final of ProBots Season 2. Who is going to be the champion here? We are on Acid Plant. And down here on the bottom right-hand side, Sarsabot.
Lady Sansa. In the top right, left-hand corner, Dimitrobot. The Imperial March.
Exactly. Rocking.
I don't think you can hear it over the StarCraft music, though. That StarCraft music is... it's the glorious chorus right now, though. Oh!
Maybe mixes in with it.
Yeah, mixed all right. But, yep, we're finally here. Our ZVP Best of 7 Grand Finals for Season 2. Thank you guys for all being here. I am very excited to see how this will pan out. Like I was thinking, we're going to see a lot of gateways and a lot of zealots from Dimitrobot. Oh.
Just getting a little bit of music turned on.
Okay.
Music's pretty epically loud there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Are going to turn that down, but so we are going to get the same thing. Obviously, here's 4 gateways coming on out, and we've gotten an expansion on Sarsabot's side, and I don't believe pool yet. There it is. So first zealot starting before the pool, but they do hold up till 10 zealots. 10 seems to be the number, and then they never stop.
That's it. There's always this constant flow of zealots. And I don't know, like, I wish that when we had an interview or next time we had an interview, what was the thought process behind that? Is it just once you get that snowball effect, it should dominate any situation, or is that something that where he specifically is like this will particularly work on Sarzabot? Like, I'm curious to know if he's like this is just a dominant strategy, or if this is specifically something that is dominant against Sarzabot, because
it seems like it's built to go towards any race. So, Zealots in mass, good against Marines early on, good against Zerglings early on, good against Zealots early on. It seems like it's almost built to accommodate anything. So it's maybe the beginnings of a bot that's good against any race, any matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
The early stages.
But he resubmitted this bot though, so I'm curious to know what he changed, because this is a resubmission. So if he kept it pretty much the same the last time, or did he just maybe just
left it mostly, if not entirely, the same? Yeah, it's worked out well so far. It's gotten him to the finals.
True. True.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Added
GG. But we're seeing that zealot count come up. There is a roach warren coming down and 3 spine crawlers coming down. So it does look like there was actually a response to the scouting. So I think the which is something that Sarsabot said when it was losing, when it lost the hatchery in the playing itself game, it started to scream like that. And like, this is definitely responsive, right? This overlord is following these things. And as soon as it came in and started seeing 4 gateways, that's when the scream came out. And like, look at the response to this.
It's dropping spines. Like, my first question was like, I wonder why it didn't do lings like it did against itself. Instead, it's decided it's going to drop a defense, like a massive,
like a lot of them. Yeah,
and it's forgotten lings completely. It's just going straight into roaches, which against mass zealot early on, very good. So this bot has adapted appropriately, and I think has a pretty solid defense here. Roaches are going to be out of position, but the spine crawlers, I haven't seen this many spine crawlers yet.
No, absolutely not.
This should hold pretty well. It's going to take some damage, but
yeah, the queen will fall. I mean, there's still a lot here. He could end up losing 1 or 2.
No, but it's still more than us.
He will lose.
No, I won't lose them all.
He'll lose all, but he could lose the front 3. No, 1 will barely hang on. No, it goes down. Yeah, so front 3.
But that should be replaced, I would imagine, once that Overlord pack on the other side of things sees more Zealots coming across. We do have a little trickle, but the next wave, I think, is just it is just going to be.
It just does trickle at this point. Yeah. It doesn't do. Yobot did that strategy where it would then save up for another 10, but this one will just attack. Interesting. There's no real micro from the roaches there. One could have pulled back, but they just kind of sit there.
Maybe it's calculated. Doesn't need to.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Zealots can eventually break through before a critical mass of roaches gets out. I don't see. Oh wait, no, there is a spine crawler in the production tab, but it must be up at the main or either that or the 3rd, because the natural has not built more, and in theory this should eventually get
There's
broken.
One there, yeah. It's 1 in the mineral line, so well back.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay.
They'll be able to take this out. It's when we get these small groups, like when they come in individually, I think there's very little threat, but you do get these little waves of 3.
Yeah, still coming in a little bit staggered, though. That first Zealot dies pretty quickly. Here we go. Some decent damage going down on that. But
now, the one thing to really point out here is 3 bases, 3 spine crawlers, 10 drones.
I think he made the nice transfuse in the sense that, like, he knows.
That's great.
I think he's just prioritized defense. I think it calculated that as long as as long as it holds it doesn't really need to do anything else.
Well, will he have enough money to keep that defense going?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, because I assume they're all in the main, but some are mining gas.
How did he get roaches, so many spine crawlers, and a third base with only 13 drones?
Well,
That's impressive.
he also had, the spines, remember, each one of them was a drone.
Oh,
the spore was a drone. The hatcheries were drones. So he probably had 20 and then went down to this.
And then just never had them remade. There are a few more in production tapped down, though. He's almost up to 20 again, so.
Again, I think
he heard us talking about it. He's like, okay, I'll make more.
That spine does hold, very key there. And it does seem to know to transfuse when it is available.
I was gonna say, it's like, oh wow.
There you go. Speaking of it. Yeah.
I love how Sarzabot is. Like it feels so efficient and so calculated that
Look at those queens dance. A little bit afraid of the Zealots. They are lower on health, so I imagine that's why they're doing their crazy little micro dance there just to stay away.
It's a nice wave of 4 chunking up here.
Probably
hey, that Overlord's almost made it home.
Yeah, could put the queen out, but the queen does kind of pull back. Weird microing on the queen, but it works, and he will come back into this range. This one will probably finally go down.
The Zealots are slowly chipping through the defenses here. Very slowly, but surely. There's only 2 spine crawlers remaining now.
A new wave is coming too. It's not too far away. This could be a little dicey because money is not necessarily flowing here.
Yeah, money's not as, but there are now 35 drones, still droning up massively. So he's not recognizing this as maybe as big a threat as
the
it
Overlord
is.
came home.
Yeah,
that's why. I don't think it sees the threat that is still coming across nonstop anymore.
There's transfused there though again. As long as he's got, if he's got 3 or 4 queens, I think it becomes very difficult to break as long as he keeps hitting transfuses. Because these Zealots are only ever going to get like 1 spine at a time.
Might get 2 here.
Transfuse available.
Oh
nice.
My God.
Not quite enough.
The tables have turned. The Zealots have broken through all of the spine crawler defense. Now it is just queens remaining. No more roaches have been made, just drones. Oh my goodness.
And we're going to start to pile up here. It's going to be like 8 Zealots in the natural.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. Honestly.
I blame that Overlord.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right that it somehow like decided to discount the threat because it can't see it anymore. We're going to get spines made, but right in front of these Zealots. That's not going to be helpful.
Oh my God! How did this happen?
A roach is being made.
Right there. It's that one dancing around. You're in the wrong spot. That's how I think it happened.
One thing I want to notice, another thing I noticed by Sarzabot is that it canceled. I don't think any of the bots canceled.
Yeah.
It knows to cancel. I don't know if it can't. No, it didn't cancel that time, but it's canceled.
Still trying to get these.
Panic mode.
Yeah, it's in full panic mode.
In this. And this is what happened to all the drones the first time. We're back down to 15 from 35.
And now there's a big group of Zealots, too, that has managed to group up just because of all the chaos in what was the natural here.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, this is great. What a fun game number 1, though. Definitely.
How did this happen? Like, I honestly was like, oh, Sarzabot has this easy peasy. But this, like, very simple, very, like, time strategy is working. It wears him down. It wears down Sarzabot.
Well, it's almost what you would want to do in a normal game. You want to keep the Zerg spending their larvae on things other than army, other than whatever, and kind of worked out in this sense since he had just so many Zealots coming across over and over and over again.
Oh, this is so unfortunate. Lady Sansa. Oh my goodness.
Still trying to make these spines.
I think
not going to work though.
Well, I guess it's calculated. This is its best hope is to get at least some spines down.
Now, what will the behavior from here be? Although one drone is leading it to the other.
The trainer drone.
That's what I was kind of waiting for. Is because the Zealots do seem to make the beeline for the main.
They should have the oh, here's the Zerg thing. Go kill it. I would imagine.
Yeah.
No. Maybe not.
Sarzabot not admitting defeat. No quips or quotes. from Sarzabot?
It's got 2 bases still. We've got mining
exactly.
up in this 3rd base position.
The Overlord is a distraction.
So this is what I was kind of wondering. So we have
The Overlord ends up being the savior.
Yeah.
It distracts them all.
We also saw was it Proxy Reaper bot, but one of the bots that did the Proxy Reaper was capable of going in and essentially winning the game and then not winning the game. It was incapable of leaving this position.
Yes, Proxy Reaper bot was like that. Like
it would just continue to make Reapers and send them in, but they were all set to target the main command center. And so when that died, it would literally never leave. If that's the case here, then it's possible that Sarzabot can literally macro out of it.
That's possible. It's possible that Sarzabot could get back into this game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the spines are going down.
I think Sarzabot is back in it 100% if Dimitrobot doesn't ever leave the in there. Because there are more zealots slowly trickling across. Okay, they
should all gather there until there's 200 supply of zealots. But if we saw when he went to attack this 3rd base, if there's ever anything that draws it over to the 4th, then it will go. But there should be enough spines there.
What's going to draw it over there, though? No, unless a drone goes to make a base and then is like, oh, that's a lot of zealots, better go back home, and lead them straight to it. I guess that is a possibility, but...
Oh, my God.
No! Takes the win.
All right, we knew that was going to happen eventually too.
But nothing got attacked. It was getting stronger, and then it's like, nah, I'm just done.
I wonder what that was triggered on. Yeah,
that was not expected.
It maybe just assessed. It might have just assessed the value of the army versus what it's capable.
Oh yeah, because that Overlord saw how many zealots were there.
Yeah. And said, "Oh, I see 70 army supply. Fuck this." Yeah.
Like it probably assessed the army value versus what it currently had, and was like, never mind.
We talked about this before too, in past weeks. Like when you program in these GG timings, boy, you got to make sure that it really is. And in this case, two hatcheries mining and stuff, I would not leave. Like we've seen some of them. The trigger is the loss of their last hatchery Nexus command center. But yeah, this one definitely a little bit of an Idra timing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe rename this to IdraBot.
Yeah.
Get a good if you ever make a new bot.
I wonder if it just smashed the keyboard. So I was like,
which now kind of makes me think, if I was to play against Sarzabot and make nothing but sentries, just sentries, and then hallucinate a whole army, would it actually pull the Idra if it thought that I had 180 supply worth?
It would. It wouldn't know the difference. The hallucination would just be, a unit unless it was revealed. So
unless there was a detection.
Yeah. So I imagine that could be a strategy. What if you did that strategy as obviously you'd have to count that your opponent would GG out, but nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Sorry, Jared. You know nothing. So we are back in. This one is on Dreamcatcher, and expect to see some different results here as it all goes. But up here on the top left-hand corner of the map, we have our Zerg. No, that one.
What?
Sarzabot.
Yeah, Sarzabot.
Oh my God, is that a proxy?
I don't hear any sounds or music.
Yes, it is. Okay, I like this.
Dimitrobot.
Check this.
I don't. Oh wait, am I muted? Oh, my thing got muted somehow. Never mind.
So yeah, we do have a proxy coming down, and we'll see what this accomplishes. It could definitely get, although I don't know, it depends what he does. If this is going to be some sort of defense up there, he could actually get some damage done on the zealots before like the gateways, because we actually saw in the Ajax game against Dimitrobot that he went in and attacked with a few lings and was able to kill a gateway because the other zealots just stand there until there's 10 of them. They won't attack until anything comes into melee range with it.
The key thing to also remember too is that the Sarzabot does learn from past games, so it keeps the data or assesses the data and adjusts its strategies based off of what happened last time.
I think our observer might be right, though. Sarzabot might have somehow mistaken Dimitrobot's natural as its own. You know, we did see some of those issues with the mining from the other side of the map.
That,
oh my goodness.
Although with this spine and things are clearly rallied there, so I think this is more of an intentional cheese.
Yeah, it does seem intentional.
Yeah, he's making queen there. This could be quite good.
It was the first time he went defensive. He went purely defensive. He went roaches, spines, protect himself.
Things will come in.
Aggressive.
Right. So the zealots do engage as they get in range, but this could definitely weaken this whole thing.
See if you can break through the first little bit of zealots. It's going to be about the only hope. The zealots are able to build up in strength. Against one spine crawler with their normal wave, they'll be able to crush through this natural. But nice of the queen to pull the zealot back into that spine crawler range. I wish the zerglings would do the same.
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of going to suicide in here.
YOLO.
As they kill a bunch, this does ultimately delay possibly the move out, and we are going to get more spines at the natural.
This is working. It's slowing down the zealot. If the zealots never reach their critical mass, they'll never do that. He'll just be able to keep chipping away.
When queen does go down, there's more underway though.
This is how you beat it. Nice job, Sarzabot. Adapting.
I love that he pulled back to the spine.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's again, I think he was maybe pulling back to inject. And it just worked out.
No, it was all skill. Yeah. Bot knows exactly what it's doing.
So with 3 spines that are going to be at the bottom of this ramp pretty soon, this is looking pretty good, although I have to say it looked pretty good last game, and then shit went horribly wrong.
Oh.
We'll see.
Oh. Okay, good. We got it.
Nice.
Okay, that was good.
Pullback is real. Even more spines coming out. That one's just pulling right the fuck out of dodge.
I quit. Not my job.
Bye, boys.
I'm over it.
Bye.
This is a good formation at the bottom of a ramp too, especially given the way that some of the units fight. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And the score
is making 2 safety scores. You can't go wrong with that.
I think the zealots are about to reach the number they need to push out. So we're going to have a critical moment here where they can either break through these spines or just lose it all, because they're just going to trickle after this, and a trickle will never break through this, I don't think.
This is it.
This is so much power, though. I think they're going to break through.
Yeah, they're going to break through.
Transfuse.
Nice transfuse. Will he go after the spores or ignore them?
There's no Zergling support. He stopped making Zerglings entirely. I don't think an Overlord was scouting, maybe, or something. But absolutely no support. Dimitrobot has broken through.
Yeah, he will overrun this. And because
look at the queen getting built.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
What's going on there?
Yeah, it shows in the mineral count there too. He's still trying to make and defend this base.
Maybe he's trying to calculate the probability of this queen making a difference.
Is he going to do anything at home, though, is the question. Because of this delay up front, okay, I think the is, again, an acknowledgement that he is losing.
Bleeding out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's even more. Look how many zealots have grouped up now because of the eggs, because all that. Oh, this is going to hurt. 5 spines will be up, but I think the zealots should be able to get enough surface area to clean all those out.
Yeah, there's nothing there to accompany. He's adding in a few lings now, but there needs to stop this. There needs to be like 6 queens already built or something, and there's just the one.
I wonder if I could climb to like Masters 1 with Dimitrobot's strategy. I feel like
possible.
I feel like this. I feel like this was strength.
I feel like
solid, man.
Yeah, I feel like No Regret did.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there's some strength in this, right? No one's expecting it. I mean, you just come in with like 20 zealots and overwhelm you. These spines are well placed, though. I kind of like.
Pretty good. Pretty diversified.
Yeah.
We'll kind of split the army up here, but
There's just so many zealots.
The blings in the back aren't helping either. There they go.
I do like though that it decided to do this as a protection as opposed to like try to build another natural or whatever.
Had it kept poking, had it kept producing Zerglings, I feel like Sarsabot would have eventually been able to break through, but it did just get too passive. Overdrone, I think that's the real killer here. Just overdrones when it should be making army.
Yeah. It's possible though if we think about it that Sarsabot may be like testing, right? It might be like, okay, well this didn't work, and then this clearly didn't work.
It's possible, but I don't think they work that way. they don't think ahead or behind. Like they know what's behind, but they don't actually think ahead. They're like, yeah, it's a little different. It is neat to see that style. The designer of the bot, Nike, in chat, saying that he kind of forgot that this cheese build was still in there. It's part of.
I thought it was solid.
For one of the ladder. I think it could have worked. Like you said, small tweaks would have held that. There's two main things that could have held that. He made 3 spines and 2 spore crawlers. If he had made 2 more spines, then he probably would have fought.
Yeah, spores is definitely dead weight there.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to know how or what the mindset of Sarsabot of the spores in general. Like, is it calculating where it's like, possibility of a Dark Templar appearing is...
I think it's more for the Oracle, because that's really early for it to come out, but you would see an Oracle roughly in that time, I think.
That's healthy, though. I think
that's possible.
Although, and it does also help against DTs, but...
Yeah. I don't know how sophisticated like the scouting is either. Obviously, it was picking up on some information in the first game, and it knew what to do. Like its response was completely accurate, like go into roaches and get the spines and whatever. But I don't know if it's scouting like sophisticated enough to be like, given that there's no gas being taken at all, it's probably not oracles. It's probably not doing that sort of thing.
That'd be a nice thing to scout.
Yeah, exactly. It's the type of thing you could definitely program into a bot that, like, if you kept vision of something, you could permanently keep account of how many minerals or gas they should have.
Let's see how BM stars about it. It's like, good luck, have fun. You know nothing, Jon Snow. So BM.
All right. Yeah. We are on Lost and Found up here on the top right-hand corner of the map, trying to stay alive. It is our Zerg Sarsabot.
Some solid macro. It just needs to figure out whether it wants to attack or defend fully. It kind of seems to do a little bit of both.
Bottom left-hand corner, ProBots.
These Zealot Cossacks are definitely dominating.
Honestly, the music is giving it strength. Like they probably have like a secret +1/+1 because of the music. The Imperial Cossack March, ready to go. They're feeling the pride go through their Zealot loins.
Yeah, and we'll get obviously the same thing here. I say obviously because we haven't seen anything else, but I'm told that there is other strategies in this. It's just they have a lower probability of occurring.
Well, if you win, why would you do something else?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It could have, and we talked to someone a while back too that did say that if it wins, it repeats. If it doesn't, then it will change. And
well, this is the strategy to beat right now, all you programmers.
Exactly. It seems like it should be easy, but it is not. Even with, again, like some correct looking responses, it has not been easy.
Yeah, it's I feel Sarsabot's pains. I feel like it's struggling to figure out what the best solution is. Because the second game it obviously tried something completely wacky where it's like I'm going to come up to do the natural, and we were even wondering if it was being confused with its whether its own natural. Instead, it's like no, I think this is the best way to stop it, and it wasn't. Well, maybe it is just Sans the spore crawler, but I guess it and us will never know. So,
getting that third base.
Sarsabot.
He's going for the macro.
So the Overlord is coming in now, and as it comes in, we get the spine and spore. So it's going to start. Yeah, okay. So it really is a response to this, that it's seeing something and saying, I don't like that.
Panic. Ah!
Yeah.
So it's got some real personality there. I really appreciate that little touch.
Yeah, it's not too happy about what it
Roach
sees.
is on the way again. I think it might come down to the Overlord. Will the Overlord stick around?
Yeah.
Stay on those gateways, or is it just going to follow the Zealots home? Like, hey guys, there's a Zealot here, guys. Hey everybody.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
And the first bit of engagement too will make this is also a slightly longer rush distance.
Ooh, that'll help.
I think that's going to help a bit. But yeah, because there was, I think not the last game, but the very first game, when this move out happened, when he got to the other side, there was a single roach that was out, and then a few more came, but that was it. If he can have like 3 or 4 out that are there with these spines and everything, then I think he might be very successful. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as he comes in.
Overlord's making its way.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it going? Actually, it's not following anything right now.
It's
just
giving
like
up.
There it goes. Now it's going back in.
So 3 roaches. They will be out. Will they go to the right location? I feel like there's less queens though.
Uh-oh.
So this is what the other one did too. It kind of moved to the third because it
goes to defend the third.
Yeah. Going to attack. Yeah. And
Now will it come back though? Nope.
Just going to chill. But there is one there. Queen is out. The queens do weird things too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing, it's like it's trying to avoid, but it orbits the unit that's attacking it. Which is not.
I'm a little bit beside myself with the lack of micro from
the roaches.
The roaches.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad about it.
Yeah, like this. Like you could definitely infinitely keep these alive.
Yeah.
But it's not doing it. Yeah.
Even just a little command, hey, you're not fighting near spore crawler or spine crawlers. Yeah. Pull back. Oh, okay, now fight. Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Would be super helpful. But they will hold it in the end, though. And this is already a big change. I don't remember there being 3 roaches out after the last.
Yeah, there wasn't for sure. And now if they trickle in, they look a lot more single file than they were, like spread out when you look at the mini map. Well,
Micro would have made all the difference. I want to point that, like, Micro would have made all the difference in this.
Oh, absolutely. There'd be 8 roaches or something.
There's a pullback. On the final one, I should probably Micro. Nope, gives up.
Then I'll die. But the drone count is another factor. Once again, like in the first game, we're down to 10 drones. However, 4 Zerglings are coming out as well. And queens are still being made. The one indecisive queen there, not helping. There's come Lings to help. That's actually going to help. But if it becomes a game of attrition like this, then we've seen that definitely the Zealots could eventually just win.
Yeah, a little overwhelming.
We shall see.
We need more of these drones. We need to see more macro come out of it.
This is interesting development that one of these Zealots swings over to the side.
I wonder if he just got pulled. I feel like
it went over because of the queen. Yeah. But this is now a lot better. The 2 queens have now come over.
Oh, the spine crawler barely holds. Next wave, if one more wave comes in there and hits that, it's going down. Yeah. That will be the beginning of the end, perhaps.
Yeah, 2 queens here.
Goodness. Oh, that was beautiful. That felt nice.
Pulling back into crawler range, and there's 3 queens there, but one will fall yet again. If there was just a little more survival instinct on some of these units that would keep them alive, then again you get into steamroller mode, but we're not there.
Each loss here, each loss of queen is hurts like by 10.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, gigantic.
The loss of, because of the lack of economy, each queen is just
it's a lot of money down the drain. I'm just curious to see now if Sarsabot will over-drone like we saw in the game number 1, or if we're going to see maybe a little more army as those Zealots are still coming out. We're just seeing queen after queen. Eventually queens will be able to hold this if they can get enough transfuses saved up somehow, some way. The queens are the ones microing. They seem to be the only unit with actually any micro
They
whatsoever.
do, but they're still doing it weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting micro. Hey, it's something. At least it's kept them alive a little bit longer.
It's like what I call it. It's like fat micro. It's like it's kind of like wiggling and kind of like janky bouncing around.
Yeah. Oh no, the wounded one ends up in back. So little things like that are going to help Sarsabot maybe eventually hold this. Those spines too, saving the day. Queen after queen.
Two falls to that.
Okay, now we're at worker counts. Now in Sarsabot's favor. Now we need to see army or something.
Yeah.
It's such a weird way that we've gotten to this point because the worker count is slowly trickling back up, slowly climbing while queens are dying in mass. So it's like,
I think what really it's because it sees, this amount of zealots. It's like, I've got 3 spine crawlers. I'm fine. It doesn't take into account, I'm taking a little bit of damage each time. This one did a little more. Now I finally lost all my spines. Crap, what should I do?
Yeah.
We have upgrades coming too. I'm glad it thinks that it's in this position where we upgrade.
Let's go upgrade those overlords right now.
And I mean, hey, it's holding much better than game number 1 again already. The spines are still up. We're losing queen after queen, but the economy hasn't been touched. We have 32 workers out. If we could just see a wave of something.
Yeah, really any unit type just to buy time here. Because without these queens, like they went up to like 4 or 5, and now we're down to nothing again. This is kind of a bear.
But there are 2 queens in production, so I feel like it's protecting itself to get this economy. Because I feel like it knows that once this economy is ready, it should.
It's fine.
This could be bad.
This
the
is
queens
really
bad if he gets this, but it will try and retreat back here. Now on Dimitrobot's side, we're now into diminishing economy. So he's no longer able to make 4 zealots at a time.
Oh, that's huge. I think Sarsabot might have bought all the time it needed then, if that's the case.
Yeah, we're down.
New roaches are being produced. This is a great development. New roaches.
This is it.
We're just in a really danger zone because some of these oh my god, these queens. Lord have mercy.
With the roaches popping out, though, the economy's still largely untouched, not even really under threat. I mean, there's no workers there even at the natural, and that's where we're seeing most of the fights and engagements. Roaches popping out to push back the zealots. Zerg is finally in a really good spot, I think.
Yeah, I think so. With the roach out there, it's not going to make it much longer. We're down to like trickling in 2-3 zealots at a time, 4 mineral patches left. And they've got a couple minutes left each before he just completely runs out.
Sarsabot has weathered the storm quite nicely in this one.
I want to say, you mentioned this earlier before, Dave. I think the distance has played a huge factor.
Oh, I definitely think so. It allowed there to be 3 roaches out, and that was key in not losing the back spine crawlers.
Yeah.
There's a couple times that one at the back that did finally go down was about to. And it could have gone down like 4 minutes earlier and didn't because of that.
Yeah.
It's also true, the spacing. So in the first game, there was like 1 zealot followed by 3 in a tight pack. This one has been consistently a good 5 seconds between each zealot. And that's a huge difference as well.
That helps a lot. And Blinded Midget makes a good point. The Overlords do also have micro. Good correction.
That's true. That is true.
We have seen them spazzing out more than anything, I think.
Mm-hmm. The Overlords have also played their unusual role of in the death throes to distract the zealots. So there's something to be said about that. This is healthy. I like this position. We're in a healthy.
Oh yeah, we're going up to 5 bases now. There's 51 drones. This is what would have been really interesting to see in this game is where there's not as many minerals left. If the zealots had broken through, killed the natural, killed the main, and started to accumulate in the main, would it have GG'd out? Given that it may not get to the same supply though, because
it would eventually, because it would start long distance mining.
It would eventually, but would then Sarsabot catch up before it did? And
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of things could happen here.
It might just make the decision based off of just army supply. It might just like choose.
It might be that it looked at it and said it's 70-0. Yeah. So weird initial move outs by the army here, but it looks like it's scouring the map.
It's probably looking
Making
for
sure.
expansions first to.
Yeah, I guess its overlord has seen that there's no natural, no third.
So it's wondering. It's like, huh?
Yeah,
What's
is there a
happening?
hidden base or something?
I think Sarsabot will be able to take one here. Very nice.
Oh, girl, you have shown us that Stark blood in you, robotic blood. Look at that. Look at that. Finally touching
Nicely
the
done.
mineral line.
Yeah,
That will do it.
going to work.
Wow.
Yep.
So yeah, it comes down to if Sarsabot can hold the Zealot rush, it wins. If Sarsabot loses its natural summon, the Zealots will just kind of keep taking over.
Exactly. So the question will be, what did Sarsabot learn from this?
Will Dimitrobot change now that it's
Yeah.
lost?
Good
Has it
question
ever
as well.
lost? Has it lost any?
Not with this strategy. It lost some with the worker rush.
Yeah. There is
Ooh, I'm
potential.
very curious now if we're going to see a different strategy now that this one is not worked out. Ooh, so excited.
Oh, snap. We got a match.
GG
We
well
got a
played.
match.
Sarsabot still in this, only down by 1 game now, so definitely looking strong. If it keeps adapting like this, it's going places.
Learning slowly.
Yeah, I'd say Sarsa's macros like platinum or probably diamond, if not higher. But then the decision making is what really I think keeps it down.
Look at this DM.
Overly.
That's it. We got the GG. We got the GG out of him, but he didn't leave.
Well,
So
probably-
you still have to kill all my buildings.
Yeah.
There it is. GG indeed. We've got a series on our hands, boys.
Oh man, I love it.
Shaping
love
up,
it.
Shaping up good. It's not going to be a 4-0, which is what I was worried about. So,
No.
and
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely still leaving things up in the air. I think it is going to be map dependent.
Yeah.
What happens? It's going to be down to individual placement on spines and stuff, and it's going to be down to, as you mentioned, Andy, if Dimitrobot does the same thing. Like if he changes, then we're talking about something else entirely.
Might
Yeah,
have a totally new game on our hands coming up here. We'll have to wait and see.
I feel like the map distance is going to play, I feel like, the role in this particular match. Assuming that Dimitrobot does the exact same thing again, I feel like map distance is going to be one of those things that really either have to play in Sarsabot's favor or against it. So.
Well, yeah, it gives him at the beginning there, just gives him 10, 15 extra seconds to get a couple roaches out, something. And we did see the roaches actually fought way more in that one than they did in game number 1.
I like what we can see, like the thing that does come down the difference for, like, if he just has to survive, that's what the conclusion can be done for, is that Sarsabot just has to survive. He just has to live long enough, because that initial 10 is hard. It's heavy. It's a very heavy blow to get hit by in the beginning, and Sarsabot needs to be able to hold against it.
Okay, here we go.
Nothing, Jon Snow. Oh my God.
Worker rush time.
Here it is. It didn't work. All right, we'll see if he can handle this. Now, I do believe, didn't Sarsa mention something, or the creator of Sarsabot mentioned something about adding in a defense against drones? Just down on the bottom right, here he is, Sarsabot. Red.
And no longer up on the top left, it is Dimitrobot, who's going to walk into frame any moment.
Do.
Oh my God.
Here we go. One drone goes down. The drones do get pulled, and in a straight-up fight, a drone beats a probe. We'll see in mass what will happen here. The probe's actually pulling back, allowing the drones to get a phenomenal engagement. And I want to say this has already helped. The the probes abandon their attack and just head home.
They
So
do
wait
turn back once the shields have regenerated. It's supposed to be the idea
That's nice.
behind it. And now,
I like that addition. Actually, now a pullback, a tactical. What is it? Not a retreat. It's a tactical fallback.
Tactical fallback.
Tactical fallback.
Wow.
To regroup,
Rude.
and it will actually work out. And where I thought Sarsabot was going to hold, now I think Dimitrobot.
Oh my God, that rude micro is so rude. Whew.
It's good.
I
That
like-
micro saving the day.
There's one probe like still back home mining too.
These are some battle-torn probes here.
Yeah.
Drones get pulled again. It's going to be a brawl.
Oh my God, so rude. Oh,
1, 2 go down. How many did what do we got for losses here? It is 10 probes to 8, but I think it's 8 to 8 on this side of things.
Yeah, it's this little part that's kind of killing them. If he just held back, he's kind of winning those initial engagements. But now it's going to be 10 probes on this side to 7. And is he making fast enough? There's another one coming out.
I love to look how they walk. So it almost seems like they pull back.
It's mineral walking.
Clicking to mineral walking.
Yeah, it's mineral walking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ensures they don't get clumped up, stuck on anything. Yeah, if this does not push these probes back, I think Sarsabot's going to be out of steam.
Yeah.
It's kind of the last of the drones here.
Interesting. He's not reinforcing this with more.
Yeah, he's continuing to mine and making them at home, and they're just mining. So these are all super, super weak here. Sarsabot recognizing, obviously, that there's an issue.
It is pushing back, though. The drone's able to heal up just a little bit. The strongest drone's in front. Oh, it's so close.
Oh,
they're so damaged.
It's so close.
Oh, my God.
Sarsabot has maybe held here. It actually does have drones coming down back at home. Worker counts but it's a full committal out of DimitroBot.
Yeah, okay.
Probes for the win.
This extra is definitely going to take it, as there's 4 drones left.
This is the best defense I've seen against the probe rush, though, to this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So if Sarsabot were to program in his own pullback, below 4 or below 5 health or something, pull back to the mineral line would be, I think, what would definitely allow him to hold this.
They're not responding. They're not fully responding to that. Now they do, but it's too late. They really needed to get those too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they are going to be able to push back, and the probes run away. If the probes don't have shields, the drones are going to be able to chase them back. If the drones gather a little bit of health in this time. And they're fighting one by one here.
Nice. And it keeps going that the healthy one kind of ends up in front. One does fall. That's one of the healthiest probes. He's now into like the healthier new probes.
Oh my goodness.
They don't have the minerals too. They don't have the This is it. This is the last of it. Like no one has any minerals to rebuild.
Sarsabot's done it.
Well,
oh my God.
There is still mining in Protoss land. Yeah.
Oh, is there? Oh, I thought
back up to 6 probes. No.
Oh no. Then I don't. Oh, I take back.
Whereas these 3 drones are the only 3 drones.
Oh.
If they can kill these 2, though, it's possible. It is.
If they kill these 2 and go back, but is it going to be enough? Like, are these?
It's against that. No, it's
no.
Because those probes will also get pulled and fight in a minute here.
Exactly.
So, well fought, Sarsabot, almost able to do it. Get that last probe. Glory points here. Oh,
no. Now's the time. I think he was going to pull it anyway, and this will be the end of it.
Oh my God.
G. That I thought Sarsabot had it there for a second. Had he been able to kill those last 2 and then gone home, just maybe. But
he just wanted the vengeance. Just wanted that vengeance.
Ooh, that puts Sarsabot down 2 games, 1 game away from losing it here.
Yeah.
I've never seen probes kill a hatchery so fast.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh.
So there we have that one. Definitely tense. Same
Very
strategy on a slightly different map could have a different result. If it was a little longer, if there's 1 extra like drone in that or something like that. But yeah, well, we'll see.
The drone pull or the probe pull, still a valid option.
Yeah.
Still a very strong move here.
That means though that DimitroBot will most likely do another worker rush because it's like that one.
Yeah, it succeeded, so it could very well do so.
Well, and again, that almost got held, so it comes down to the little tiny things.
So it's gonna make that decision. It's gonna make the decision that's like, all right, well, that worked. I'll do it again. But the question is now, what does Sarsabot learn from that? What is
Protoss OP? That's what it's learned.
Yeah,
it just changes its race.
Now, real Nike's right. This is very entertaining, to say the least.
Well, there was some complaints earlier in Discord about the idea that it'll just be one-sided 4-0 or, that Sarsabot wins dominantly 4-0.
We already proved that's not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, these are tight enough that it's literally situational, map dependent, build order dependent. If that was a pool first or something, then you'd have Lings out well in like at some point in that game, and like 2 to 4 Lings would have obviously won that. So yeah. Is it saying it's build order with this?
Oh,
this is also a slightly this is a different one too. So the key difference here. Oh no, it is still doing it. I was going to say that it didn't seem to leave one at home, but it is out.
Oh, he's doing he's going to pull the drones or the probes with him.
This is potentially ideal.
Sarsabot, look at that hero drone. Look at him.
Oh my god, this could make the difference.
This could be a gigantic difference. He's going to try and proxy hatch, and he won't get it down, and I think that's key. He's better off having not gotten it down.
You think so?
Oh yes, because it just delayed it, but it didn't spend the resources on this insane thing. Right?
But nothing else is happening, so did it?
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do.
Here we go. Sarsabot's doing stuff.
Making stuff now.
Okay, well, not an extractor, baby. You should have. No, okay.
Right, gonna make one there. So we'll see. I assume they just bypass this. Yeah.
Oh no, it'll buy him more time. If he can buy him time to get more drones out, that's good. Every little thing that's buying time here. Oh, I don't think there's. Oh, there is a cancel. Nice.
There is a cancel.
Yeah, I remember there is a cancel command. Oh, he's losing drones unnecessarily here though.
No.
They don't get pulled until they get up into the mineral line. So that's 3 drones that won't be able to help out here now.
No.
There we go. Pull them all.
Kind of tossing it.
No, that was so close for Sarsabot to be really in his advantage there.
Mm.
Kind of
now, Sarsabot, though, does have a ton of minerals until he's tried to put this hatchery down, which doesn't make any sense. But I was going to say, with 400 minerals, he could survive this for a long time, but not now.
Well, we'll again buy him a little bit of time to maybe get some more drones out. But no, he's losing.
Not enough drones.
It's too much.
If it had just given up on the hatchery idea.
Yeah. We've seen this be the downfall of a lot of these bots, that the insistence on building the same thing has resulted in a horrible end.
Yep.
And there it goes again. They're just going to lose it one at a time.
It really wants a hatchery. Like,
wants it.
Who are you to deny him his hatchery?
He's Dimitrobot. That's
so we may have our very simplistic champion coming out here shortly. Oh yeah, no, definitely build that. That's a priority right now. I'm surprised that it doesn't, like, given that it is one of the bots that more evaluates what it's doing, like as it goes. I'm surprised that it is still doing this.
It just doesn't know how to evaluate the type of pressure, I think, because it's been weird pressure. It's been, a big wave of zealots. You know how to deal with that. Right. He built a bunch of spines. But then it was 1 zealot, 2 zealots, 3 zealots. Probes are not considered an army. So it's not like, oh, probes, that's not a big threat. So I think being able to identify a little bit better what constitutes a threat would have helped it out.
Exactly.
What an unfortunate and sad demise to our little Sarsabot, has come so far and trekked across vicious mountains only to die to the simplest of reeks. So
it's gonna be one thing that's gonna be true. Yeah, we'll celebrate the win here. One thing that's possibly true in perfectly controlled things is there may be certain cheeses that cannot be beaten.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's possible that like a worker rush with probes or something is literally unbeatable against a Zerg or something, like anything that can't fall off or like whatever.
Well, not if you were to go early pool and then just do a quicker rush.
Then you should be fine.
Yeah. No macro.
I'll explain it, Tara. So one thing to also keep in mind, I was informed before we started the stream, but first before we do that, we should actually congratulate our champion, the season 2 ProBot champion, Dimitrobot for Ukraine.
Ukraine is strong.
Ukraine is strong. They programmed the best bots.
Yep.
So watch out, Elon Musk.
Watch out, humanity.
Watch out, humanity. Ukraine is coming for you.
Yeah. We're gonna get worker rushed.
Yeah. So I was informed before we started the stream that apparently after these games, even though it is 4-1, they still play out the entire 7 games regardless, and the ending score is actually 4-3.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, spoilers.
Wow.
There we go.
It's something to be known. That,
let's check them out.
That eventually.
Do we have them?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
do you want to do it?
Why not? Right?
Because why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, it's a short night otherwise, and
let's.
Well, and it'll showcase too. You know, had this bot been given a little time, had it chosen one of these different builds first instead of the one it did, could have won the whole thing instead.
Exactly.
These are short games.
How close these games are.
So let's take a look, guys. If you guys will stick around with us, we'll see. Let's see what happened.
Why not? Personally, if I had known that, I would have rigged them.
So that
we should have played them so we had an ace match.
I definitely would have rigged them.
That wasn't
this is more fair.
Everything on TV is scripted. Come on.
Well, we have to remember as well is that the way the learning, as we saw how the strategies work, if they were done out of order, it would have
looked weird.
It would have looked weird.
It wouldn't have been truthful, but yeah.
Because they I have always found revenge is the purest.
We could have made it work.
Yeah. Coming back from the grave. Sorry, so
we are getting, again, obviously the worker rush coming. But the quote, does that lead to a different thing? It's going extractor first. But is it extractor pool? Then that could be much better.
We'll find out.
Dimitrobot going for the worker rush yet again.
Will he get there? Yeah, he will get there before 200 minerals, I think. Although bots don't seem to give a fuck about certain things, but it's not going to be that.
Man, this surface area for this is not ideal.
Yeah.
It's definitely favors the pullback.
I might not be synced with you guys because I closed my thing thinking we were done.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you at? 113?
We're at 104, so I think you're in the future. Yeah.
109, 110, 111, 112.
Okay,
go. All right.
Yeah, this just looks better. It's kind of weird if the win is just because it microed a little like different, or like just the engagement were a little different.
Well, they're kind of even right now. Never mind. Rip.
It's splitting into 2 weird groups.
Oh, look at this. That's going to help out the drones.
So that's a big difference. Mm-hmm. So if these go all the way home,
they'll be able to, if they can kill this last one.
It could end up with the drones at its own home base. And now it's chasing these. So yeah, this is a pretty big difference. Yeah. Because they're set to go pull back as soon as their shields run out. But since they were on the other side, 3 more of them died, I think, than would have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Sarsabot doing it.
And 11 drones total, 12 now. Only 3 chasing, which is also a lot better. So I think just that random fact that it split up made the difference here.
How did that end up happening? Was that just like, was that Dimitrobot's probes just going in different directions?
Yeah, there are. I think. I mean, there are definitely areas like even when you're playing, if you like move command or attack move your army, it will split into 2. So it must be just one of those.
Oh yeah, it was while they were retreating, so it kind of depended, I think, on their position when their shields went down. Because if one was a little more to the right when its shields went down, then it would go that way. One was
I see
that way. So it kind of depends where it ended up as it came back and forth. So little tiny details.
Mm-hmm. Spawning pool coming out. This is what you needed, baby. This is what you needed.
Exactly.
I've gotten that before the extractor, but whatever. Here we are.
Dimitrobot doesn't need no units. So what is this Zerg? That sounds OP. Going directly for that Nexus. This I mean, there's just enough here.
Yeah, this will hold it easy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be able to hold it just fine.
Yeah. 18 to 17.
Well, this is good. I think it does show, the bot itself, the intelligence behind it. it could do the exact same thing, 2 different maps with 2 totally different outcomes. So one time you would consider it good, another time you would consider it bad. Exactly. So it is really nice to see that it can be very close between these things.
Which I'm sure makes machine learning super difficult.
Absolutely.
You can't show like a chess computer the same game and be like, well, this time you lost and this time you won.
It'll be like,
I'm
what?
really pissed off. Yeah.
Well, there's just so many variables in StarCraft. You can't account for them all. Even as humans, we have trouble accounting for, and we're the most quote unquote advanced computer, process out there, and it's still difficult for us. So, but no, it's coming a long way, and these guys have definitely shown some awesome skills to program this.
And you know what? I don't think we could really ask for like a better finals in the sense that these weren't very lopsided. Like this was like Sarzabot did struggle into trying to figure out what to do in these situations, and it wasn't really like this stomp. It wasn't a stomp like that. I think would have been the worst case scenario, where it was that in the finals one bot just stomped over the others. Right? The HX AI in season 1, I felt really kind of dominated other bots with very little turnback. And here we are now, HX AI, obviously still an older build, but at the same time not in the finals, and Sarzabot, against DimitriBot, and there's a tug of war, like almost a battle of the simplicity versus the wits, right? So I'm pleased.
Well, if you look at the total map score, would you say 3-2 total?
Yeah.
4-3 by the end.
Or 4-3, I mean.
Yeah, 4-3 by the end. Yeah, exactly.
So very close.
What we can see from here, because after this, we can definitely surmise that DimitriBot will go back to what it wanted to do. Oh, what's happening? Where are you going?
There's a single Ling in the other mineral line.
Oh,
must defend the motherland.
Yeah.
So I was like, they all just stopped. They're just like, oh, now it's one thing to note is that these probes aren't responding at all.
Yeah, because they're not in attack mode yet.
They had not reached critical mass yet. These ones have not.
Yeah, you're right. So what they do is they wait until they have a certain point where they're like, okay, now we are ready to attack. We
only attack. We don't mind. Yeah,
we don't mind.
You're either a miner or you're a worker or an attacker. That's what I meant.
We do not sow. Oh snap! Nope, and now they're going back to attack, which means
now there's
nobody's mining. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, this should do it.
Ling's finally coming. It was weird that kind of one got sent out. There was like 20 back at home at the time.
Maybe it was just testing. Maybe it was wondering. It was like, hey, what's back here? Like, you've been sending these probes to me, or probably
defend your home.
Get back there, probe.
Well done, Sarzabot.
Oh, you left this time.
Oh, that's it. That was almost like Manor GG. Like, wait a second and let me kill you.
That's awesome.
I think that one definitely worth looking at, and let's see. Yeah, if in game 7, what does it do? One, does it have a third strategy that we haven't even seen?
That'd be cool.
Does it go back to Zealots? Does it stick with that?
I'm guessing it goes back to Zealots.
Yeah, that was going to be my prediction. Probably that.
Probably like goes back into the cycle. One thing to remember, guys, while we load up for the next game, that match with Reno. We're almost there. Almost a 3/4 way there. Just crawling up. Enter the code ProBots. And it will add $1, or Sarzabot will come back from the grave to find
you. Yeah,
in its time machine.
Exactly.
It's free.
It's free.
It takes like 3 clicks.
Exactly.
Free Zala. All goes towards next season ProBots.
I'm already super stoked for next season.
Oh man,
yeah, it should be really good. There's like some simple lessons, I think, and DimitriBot is one of those lessons for people. But there's some simple lessons like worker rushing and like just simple things that people could definitely put in.
One thing to remember too is that if I remember correctly, DimitriBot's author said he like made it in the afternoon or something. Like it was like DimitriBot was originally created as like a last minute entry kind of thing because he wanted to get it in and he found out about the tournament late.
Not even his final form. DimitriBot going for the probe rush yet again. It's interesting, as it just lost. Maybe is this a different Pro Brush?
Oh,
maybe. If it saw, well, so far it's, as far as it knows, it won with 2 Zealots and lost with 1, and it won with 2 Pro Brushes and lost with 1. So it's equal probably in its mind.
Oh, yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it just tosses up which one.
Nice flanking drones here. I think the flanking is oddly key because they try and minnow rock through, and you're going to get an extra hit or so on them. And so I think that's actually a big difference. Yeah, the wraparound is the key.
You know, the drones kind of get into attack mode as well until they don't see any. They just go into a blood rage when they start attacking until they don't see any more drone or probes.
This one seems much more clearly decisive. Like this seems like a complete rundown.
So it's about learning how to hold.
They're just like all over you. Like they like these drones from like the past drones. These ones are like, wherever you go, we will find you. I don't.
We have a particular set of skills.
I don't. Obviously, this might be reaching, but I wonder if it learned a little bit better how to.
Yeah, I kind of now want to be like, and since we have these bots, let's do it for fun. Not obviously now, but why don't we just make these bots play 35 games against each other
and see like how long it like.
I'm curious if there eventually becomes a domination state, like that one always wins.
That Sergeant Bot like automatically wins no matter what.
Yeah, where it learns to deal with both things and it's happy. Like given the type of bot that it's supposed to be, where it is actually learning, that should be something that happens. Now, that could be thousands of games, but like, it should be something.
Really key thing to like notice, this defended against this worker rush how many times? 4 times it's fought this worker rush, and this time is like a dominant, like 17-4 drones. So like it like at this point is either getting really lucky with placement and map placement, like distance or whatever, or it's learning how to better micro around and how to better wrap around or how to deal with it.
Yeah, it looked like the micro was a little different. The owner of the bot, of course, saying it would eventually learn to stop building an extractor.
Just probes, dude.
Which is definitely something.
Well, good news is it wasn't, we didn't get to the point where it was building a spore every time, right? So, oh, I'm calling again.
Well, I've got a good round of 8 event for you. Once you get to the round of 8, you could do a big free-for-all with all the bots.
That would be really
cool. Oh, wow.
That would be, yeah. Apparently, we just, the way that it works, we can't. I think you would need...
You like a supercomputer?
Yeah, you could do it on a supercomputer.
The CPU would just explode.
Okay.
Yeah, the way that these bots actually play each other, they play on the same machine in like 2 instances of the game. So they're on the same computer in different like windows. It's
so 8 instances of StarCraft would be intense.
It would be. Yeah.
Ooh, probes get a kill there, a couple kills.
Yeah,
we'll push up. The spawning pool's done.
Going up to that roach warren.
Yeah, this is done.
Key.
Still on probe tech. It's just not going to cut it.
These lings are out, baby. Where you gonna go? What you gonna do when they come for you? Badlings.
Wait, why is the ling going back home and the drones are still?
Well, these ones are like these are Conan drones. They're just like. Ah!
They're still doing that one ling is making a beeline for the mineral line though.
It's testing the waters.
Yeah, I'd be curious to play this out. We should we should play it at best of 35, best of 9, best of 107.
So
pick a large prime number and play it out.
Wonder if there's a level of not simplicity but ease when you are an author of a bot like this, where you make the bot and you just watch it, because you're not really tweaking it, because you're just like, you just let it go and do its thing, and you maybe do smaller tweaks because you don't have to program a whole new strategy for it. You just set it into the wild and say, figure it out for yourself, little child.
It's definitely a harder initial setup. Like one thing out there, like for people that don't understand the difficulty of what Sarsabot is, it's probably the most not that I've read every code, but it's just
It's
knowing
complex.
what the technique is. Yeah, exactly. It is complex, and there is an achievement in being like the first primarily driven like machine learning one.
It definitely, in that sense, it definitely has the most potential almost.
Yeah,
It does. Oh, absolutely.
So after another season or two, it could just be dominating the scene.
Yeah.
What I'm curious to see is that, and Ashax has been, whether it be in Discord or even in the chat, he is incredibly proud of his newest bot, Kagman.
Yes. Yeah, I want to see that one too.
And he swears by it, that it's the kind of bot that's going to like dominate. It would tear. I don't know particularly Sansa bot, but like he's been commenting saying that certain strategies that we've seen, Kagman is prepared, right?
Well, man, if it's better than this, I think it's gonna do very well. But all the other authors will have time to better their bots as well, to add new strategies, new defenses, and all of that. So I'm very excited for next season.
And it sort of says something very key in past episodes, where there is going to be a ProBots meta, where you will come to a certain point where the bot makers will know what to expect from the different bot makers who play in ProBots. And you'll have like this baseline of programming that bots, by the round of 8, bots will all have protection against worker rushes, because they know that might be the dominant strategy that won season 2, right? So season 3 will be like, no, everyone knows about worker rushes. That's not a thing that's going
on. And it's almost like the pros learning other pros style, Maru versus Neve or whoever, it's fine. You learn kind of how they play, what they favor, and then you adapt to that a little bit.
Well, you have this kind of shift in the meta where no one will do worker rushes because they fear for everyone who might do worker rushes or stuff like that, where like certain strategies are completely, depending on the season, is not viable because people are expecting. So, but here we are, end of season 2 of 2018 ProBots, and we have a winner. We have I almost said Sarzabot, Dimitrobot taking it, and Sarzabot showing
a close second, very close second.
I guess the honorable mention for sure, because it made that, like, with given enough time and enough games, like maybe if it was the best of 11, it might have just won the whole thing, right? So going 4-1 in season 2.
Congratulations. Well done.
Absolutely.
Very impressive.
Very, very much impressive. And I think right now I'm very confident to say, and I'm going to do it right here on stream, announcing the dates, or at least the starting time of the next season. I think we can, So we will be starting the 2019 season. We'll follow the same GSL pattern. So 2019 season 1 in the beginning of December. So
nice.
Get your bots polished up. You got a month to get, actually a bit more than a month, a little bit about a month and a bit, to get your bots ready, and registration will open sometime in November. But beginning of December, we'll be doing the next season, starting up the 2019.
Yeah, and hope to see some new coders out there as well. We
absolutely
first season with, what was it, 9 or 10, and this time we had like 18, 19.
Yeah. No,
it'd be awesome to see that end up like 32. Something like that. Poison, make yours. I know you'll win next season. It'll be all DTs if anyone plays against her.
Yeah.
She's going to do nothing but that.
I can't give you the exact date on December when we'll start, because I haven't looked at the calendar, but I'm confident like December is a time when all tournaments are pretty much, all human tournaments are done. So we're going to
it's time.
Time for the robots to take over the
Exactly, right? So, well, I can tell you, I can't, like, keep an eye on, you go to ESChamp.com/ProBots, there's like a little thing there where you sign up with your email. I'll announce it there. Follow us on Twitter. It'll 100% make like a announcement, which you can find, but from now, it's going to be in December. So at the very minimum, you should be like getting your bot ready for it. Like, that's what you need to know, absolutely. Right? So it'll definitely be like the first week of December, but the main thing is we got to like see what's going on and
see what day of the week it is. But probably my guess would probably be December 5th if we do it the same way. But I don't know if we'll do Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. We'll see.
We'll
But
see.
yeah, but be ready for, well, you'll know soon. But start making it today is the point.
Basically, yeah.
Be inspired and go make it today.
Go work on your bot. Work on your
And
bot.
for anyone like looking to dabble into it, there is a Discord around this. A lot of those guys are very helpful. Like this, it's fun to have these competitions, but they definitely help each other and come up with ideas and stuff. Like it is collaborative as well.
Where
as
can we get that Discord link?
I believe there is a link.
I think you go to sc2.ai.net and it has like
is it
the
there?
link to the Discord. Let's see.
Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking, but then I went there and I don't see it right off the bat. There is a on the join us. So go to sc2ai.net, click on join us, and the link to the Discord is there. There's also like other
oh my gosh,
other communities. There's a Facebook group, there's a Reddit. Some people even have like YouTube videos on how to get started with this and stuff. There's like an FAQ, a wiki.
We even did an episode.
They're trying to make it a community. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so go back and watch that too.
Yeah, we did an episode on it. We interviewed some of the bot makers and
yeah, it's a great little community. Like it's growing and like it's pretty cool stuff.
Andy Man, is that you in the chat? Andy Man 8085.
Andy Man boobs.
That's me.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Numeric boobs.
Nice calculated trick.
Oh, is that what...
That's what it is.
Why the 5 though? Why is the 5?
That's the S.
It's the S.
Oh, S.
Yeah.
Got it.
My normal was I wanted just Andy Man, but it was taken. It's taken by some inactive user, and I'm just waiting for it to go away.
We all have at least some of that. You've got that on. Is it Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, ESChamp.
My Instagram too. Endersword is somehow taken on Instagram. I had to be Endersword SC.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where can they find you?
There. Although nothing, I never post any. Instagram.
Why not? Why haven't you posted any pictures?
I'm not a big selfie guy. I'm going to Hawaii next week. I'll put at least one picture up.
Put one picture.
I'll go to a wedding.
One picture.
You can find me at Endersword on Twitter. You can find me here. Usually most nights of the week, but I guess not till this starts up again. But at least for Inside the Scene here next, not next Thursday because I will be away, but any Thursday after that.
Yeah. And then
find me at Proxy Tempest. We do that every single Tuesday is when I cast, but we do tournaments throughout the week. I'm sure some of you have heard of us, hopefully, but if not, just Google Proxy Tempest. You'll find our Discord link and everything there. We do a lot of fun tournaments in North America and in Europe throughout the week for cash prizes, for OSC points, for coaching prizes, a variety of things. So definitely give them a look if you're into that scene.
Good stuff.
And then you can find me or pretty much anything that ESChamp on Twitter. That's probably the most important of all the social medias, but it's ESChamp across anywhere else. But we're most active on the Twitter. But also don't forget the YouTubes as well. A lot of this stuff goes up on YouTube after a short interval inside the scene here on Thursdays. And then something will be filling the November slot. So we'll see what's going on in November, covering this time period. So obviously we've been doing a lot of stuff here and trying new content and new formats of different things. And I think a lot of people have been responding to them. So
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And this has been a lot of fun putting together. And thank you so much, you guys, gentlemen, for being a part of this. And Andy Man, you're new to the team.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have you here. That was ton of fun to have you. So
yeah, well, I know a few people. I'm already going to try to get to program some bots. I know a few programmers, so it would be definitely cool to keep growing the ladder there and get more people into this because it's a lot of fun. It's especially as it keeps growing and developing. It's going up. It's go through.
One of my favorite things too about ProBots is that it does inspire people to jump in and give a shot at it, right? To make that opportunity. I think. Like, I don't know if Evan, the maker of Proxy Reaper bot, was always making bots, but I feel like he just showed up recently. And Dimitro bot was inspired by season 1, and I feel like we've had an opportunity to really put some bots onto the map. So
I really like the concept too. It's totally different than playing yourself because when you play yourself, if you lose, you get mad at yourself. when you're doing this, you take the responsibility almost out of your hands. You have to teach this bot how to do things correctly, and then hope it can do the best it can.
I don't know if it teaches. I think there's like.
I think it's a nice aspect.
I think you get like bad parent syndrome where you
a little bit, yeah. I guess
you're like yelling at your little kid in Little League.
We saw the chat. Why are you doing the hatchery? Like, stop that!
Yeah, stop making the extractor.
Like, come on, I taught you better than this. But no, it is just totally different aspect, a different skill set that you get to show off. And even if you do something totally right, you can be really good at it. Sometimes it just won't go in your favor. Still.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's that kind of like, you learn from the overall season, and then you come back a little bit stronger the next season, right? And that is how it should be. You should have that like that growth upwards. So, other than
that's kind of a thing too. It's always getting better. It's almost in my mind like you can't have an off day with a bot like you can if you're,
right,
sucking on ladder. You're going to do a lot worse there than your bot, I think, would do if it's doing
absolutely.
Because bots are way more consistent than humans. I'm going to say it. Maybe I'm just trying to please our overlords. That's all. But
even if it's consistently bad, it's still consistent.
Humans have a margin for error when it comes to consistency.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get close to wrapping up. But before we do that, a couple last things to remind people about is the Matcherino. Even though we did announce the next season, that Matcherino, those $3 are still out there. So make sure we collect them while we still can. Exclamation mark Matcherino. Thank you, Andy man. Just click on that link, go to ProBots, or type in ProBots in that coupon code, and bam, $3. And you can throw some extra dollars if you would so be inclined. So there we go for season 2. And then last but not least, if I remember, it's Patreon, exclamation mark. Yes, Patreon. So we have that helps the ESChamp Insider Club, which is just the fancy way for the Patreon. And essentially that helps us with the production. It's just a very much deeper way because it takes a lot less than Twitch itself. And we use that a lot of the times to increase our production value for ProBots and Inside the Scene. And then if there's enough, maybe start a new show or something like that. Who knows? And, definitely for actual Kings of the North proper with human beings. That also takes from that. And last but not least, the subscribers, right? So thank you those of you who've subbed and gotten us this far. Subbing is another way. Here on Twitch, you get access to those sweet, sweet emotes. Before the next season, we'll have a new emote that is ProBots related. I don't know what it is.
Unlocked one, right?
Yeah.
We just unlocked with our 50 sub, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a matter of, we have a new sub emote. So now something ProBots related. I don't know what it is. You guys have ideas?
About a robot overlords or something.
Something, but like a robot struggling to open champagne. But I don't think the characters can fit in this kind of like small.
Yeah, it's got to be small and simple.
It's got to be small and simple. So if you have an idea, ProBot related, feel free, shout it out, chat, Twitter most likely, and we'll get something designed up before next season.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Fans there, thank you so much for being a part of this. Right? If you like us, follow. If you love us, subscribe. Until then, we'll see you here next time on ProBots.
Bye-bye.